Hello there YouTube. Today we're looking at a Duette stereo multiplex. Now, if you have seen any of the latest videos on my channel, you will recognise this front panel from another Duette stereo multiplex that I have had refurbished. And in that video it features River, known as AG3304 on here. Now, I saw this on eBay accidentally while looking for something else, and this is the basic version without the turntable on the top, so it's not as tall as the other one, but this one comes with the original speakers. And it is in a pretty good condition. It's a lot better condition than my Duette receiver is. There's just one little nick there on the side, and a little nick on this silver trim. The speakers just need, well, it all needs a lick of varnish just to tart it up a little bit. But this thing actually works, or at least I know the amplifier and radio work. So if you've seen the video of the more higher end version of this with the turntable on top, then you will recognise those speakers down there, which are a pair of three-way modified Philips speakers, known to me and River as the Philips Pocket Rocket speakers. Now, as I say, these are the original speakers that came with the unit, and they're very basic speaker. There's an RCA phono socket there. Somebody's put this piece of wire through to hang it on the wall, even though there's a hanging hole there. So we'll just put that one back there, and I'll quickly show you inside the other speaker, because I've already got the back removed. So if we just take this off like this, and we are greeted inside with an elliptical driver, and it says there 8 ohms 3 watts. Now, it's not by a company I've heard of, and as you can see, it does fill the cabinet quite a bit, and I was hoping that these drivers were going to be perfectly fine, you know, in full working order, so that I didn't have to replace them, because I wanted to have the original speakers so that I could you know, see what it actually sounded like with the original speakers. And it's nice to have the original speakers with some units, especially when they're in such a pristine condition. It's sort of like a collector's item. So I think it will benefit from some insulation in here. I'm going to put some insulation in. They're very solidly built cabinets, very similar to a firm called Martic that did a similar pair of speakers. Theirs are slightly wider than these and not as tall. And they sort of use quadrant pieces all the way around. Let's just put the back on so we don't rip the cable off as we turn it round. The cloth front's in a good condition, and I've managed to clean up the silver trim as best I can. It is a bit sort of gold and tarnished in places, but we'll probably get a bit of brass on that just to clean that up. And as you can see, the cabinets are a little bit marked. It's only light marks really, so they're either going to get the Fablon treatment, as I mean, especially with that being bubbled there. They're either going to be wrapped in Fablon, or they'll just be sanded and varnished, or enamel paint. Probably Project Enamel will do a little better on these. I'm surprised Duette didn't think to put a badge somewhere on these that said Duette, but I suppose if I really wanted I could make a badge like that, but it's nice to keep them original. And these are obviously a very basic design that lots of smaller cheapy companies in the day will have sent with their music centre, just a basic speaker to get you going. But as you'll have seen from the video on my channel, that the Duette that I have actually sounds better through 2 or 3-way speakers. So we'll just put a couple of screws in to stop the back falling out, because it does keep making me jump every time it falls over. So we'll just put a screw in there. Now, it's nice to see that whoever's put this piece of wire in before, and it is a piece of wire, they haven't damaged the screw heads on this. You usually find if somebody's been in before, they've either misplaced the screws or they've put the wrong screws in the wrong place. There's still glue on the nuts that hold the speakers in, so they've not been touched. Strange that Duette never thought to put insulation in, but obviously to keep costs down, they just give you a basic cabinet. But for something of its time, you know, when these things were made, they actually cared about the construction of a unit. They didn't just think about keeping it cheap. Although, yes, this is probably a cheapie in its day, it's built very well. So I'll let you hear it on the radio now. At the minute, I can't seem to pick up very many FM stations, so that's because there's no aerial attached to this. But we have got one AM station that picks up quite nicely. And these speakers are rather bassy, but what do you expect for a one-way elliptical speaker anyway?
The aim of the piece is to combat and address homophobia within schools, and we're really interested in having young people's voices heard. So a huge part of what we're doing is involving young people in the process of creating a new dance piece of work that will tour schools and small theatres, kind of getting people talking about the subject, because the research that I've done recently and kind of my knowledge, understanding and my
the focus on the camera doesn't want to work at the minute.
Has led me to
so there's the bass and treble, probably on about 0, you know, flat. There's no actual markings on this unit. All you get is, here's the volume on and off switch, so when you turn it, as you see, the dial goes off. Here you've got your treble, which just has a minus and a positive. Same again for bass. Balance says left and right there, as you'd expect. On the bottom here we've got AM, FM, FM AFC, FM MPX, that's multiplex, phono and tape, and then there's the tuning control. There's a little FM stereo lamp in there, and a full-size stereo headphone socket there. And as you can see, the silverwork on this shines beautifully. And it has slightly different controls to mine.
But again,
so the treble control's not very sensitive. I mean, if you turn it down, you can tell there's no treble. But if you turn it up, there's not much added to the sound.
And what's more, you would like to get some of these ideas, then try, I said about Yorkshire Dance being involved with getting us participating as well as seeing dance. You want this to be something that people are literally involved with.
Definitely. Yorkshire Dance
you can hear it a bit when you turn the volume up,
allowing us to hold an audition for dancers to be part
turn
of
the
the
bass up
project,
full
which
now as
took
well.
place yesterday. And as part of that project, we had a young person come in and be part of the judging panel, trying to suss out which of these dancers could communicate with young people, because if you can kick your leg above your head, that's really, really great. Anthony can probably do that with his gymnastic experience. And we need those skills, but we also need people who can engage with young people and kind of have a conversation with them on an equal level. And yesterday we found 3 fantastic dancers who are also able to be role models.
As you can hear, this thing isn't shy about packing out a bit of sound. Had it about 3/4 of the way up. I've never got it past there because it's loud enough at 3/4. But it just goes to show that obviously the transformer in this is powerful enough for the amplifier, because you will find that with some units, when you turn the volume up too much, the dial light dims or it starts to distort. Now, I'm led to believe that the amplifier in this, I was told by somebody that it's around 5 watts per channel, but it could even be 2.5 to 3 watts per channel, because these elliptical drivers, as you saw in the one that I opened up, is only rated at 3 watts and it isn't distorting, which surprised me about this unit, because of something of a cheapie with basic speakers of this age, you would expect the speakers to actually be pretty knackered and pretty tired out, but that has surprised me a little bit. We'll just see if we can get anything else on the FM stations, but I couldn't when I tried it in the kitchen earlier.
As part of the research and put them on stage.
ground. They paid paradise, put up a parking lot. I said, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone. They paid paradise, put up a parking lot.
Now it doesn't sound very clear at the minute, as I say, because there's no FM aerial connected. But what we are going to do is connect up a cassette deck to this in the next video, just to see what the tape input sounds like, and actually show you what the amplifier on this is actually capable of. And we'll try it with both the original speakers, and we'll do a compare between one of the originals and one modified Philips 3-way speaker. So I'm just going to stop the camera, and in fact I won't stop the camera, we'll run straight through and I'll quickly hook it up so you'll see this in unedited format. So if there's any noise of the camera going up and down, you're now looking at the table. Enjoy. I should say actually that I haven't tried this cassette deck yet, so I don't know if it works. I picked this up yesterday from a family member as part of a Technics Stack Hi-Fi, so I'm assuming this works. Let's get a cassette out the bag. Now we are actually having trouble at getting the tape in at the minute. So I don't think this tape player actually works yet. I think this needs a bit of work. Unfortunately, that tape deck I've hooked up isn't working. Surprise, surprise. So, we're going to have to find another source. I do have a turntable, that means rearranging the table, so I think we'll cut the video short here and I'll hook up the turntable because I'm going to have to rearrange the table because it's a little bit cram-packed here. So I'll hook up the turntable and we'll see how that sounds. So, see you in the next video. Bye for now.